Hi, my name is Alicia Moulton from the Honey Company, and I would love to talk to you today about the middle bar frame. This is a versatile piece of beekeeping equipment, and we know that you're going to love it as much as we do. As with all of our wooden equipment, it is built in Utah by Utah woodworkers using trees harvested from Utah forests. These frames are actually reclaimed wood because we have a partnership with a local cabinet shop who has scrap materials that they frequently throw away, and we use those scraps to build these frames. So it's saving some wood material from going to the dump, and it's an awesome sustainable beekeeping product. The middle bar frame features these horizontal dowels running through the center of the hive. Middle bars allow you to use the frame either with plastic foundation, with wax foundation, or as a foundationless frame. If a beekeeper wanted to use the frame as with plastic foundation, they would just need to remove the dowels, like so. Get their piece of plastic foundation, insert the top into the top part, and then the bottom into the bottom groove. And then you wouldn't actually need the dowels at all because the plastic foundation provides enough support in the frame that it can hold the weight of the comb once the bees build it. This frame is designed to fit all major brands of plastic foundation. So this happens to be Permanent, but we have tested it with 3 or 4 other brands and know that it fits those as well. There is kind of a movement to go with more natural comb rather than plastic in the hive. So if you wanted to use this middle bar frame with wax foundation like this, then to insert it you'd want one middle bar in place. Then you take the sheet of wax foundation, and I just broke off these 2 corner pieces. Those will provide communication holes for the bees, and they just like that. And then you'll insert into the top bar, the groove in the top bar, like this. Wax foundation is a little bit thinner to work with, so it kind of can bounce around a little bit more. It does not provide enough support for a deep frame. The weight of the comb in a deep frame without middle bars would cause the frame to buckle. So we use these middle bars as a nice support. So we can just place this middle bar back in here and then place it in the hive ready for bees to build on. What we prefer after doing some testing and just kind of seeing what our bees like is to go foundationless. So to do that, you can just place the frame in the hive without any foundation at all. We experimented with several different ways, and on a standard frame, the top bar is flat here. And when that happened, the bees would build on the corners. You know, they'd build down from this corner and from this corner, and then they'd meet in the middle, and it was kind of a mess. So we've added this chamfer here, which is this kind of wedge-shaped piece, and it encourages the bees to build down from the middle of the frame. And it also makes it less likely that the bees will build comb across the frames within the hive. We want them to keep building that comb within the frame. It makes it easier for us to handle as beekeepers. Another way that you can use the middle bar frame once you have a colony that's building comb is to use burr comb as a starting place in the frame. This piece was a piece of rather large burr comb, and rather than scrape it out and just waste it, we were able to sandwich that burr comb between the 2 bars of the middle bar frame here, and then the bees have kind of added to that afterwards. So this is kind of a nice example. You'll see burr comb in your hive once you get started, and it's a nice way to use it rather than waste it. On a foundationless middle bar frame, once it's drawn out, it looks like this. You can see the middle bar running through the center. Oops, it's kind of cold in here, so the wax is a little brittle. And then they filled up this part with honey and then covered it with a thin layer of wax. So with this middle bar frame, these middle bars provide enough support without any foundation that we could remove these caps and put it into a centrifuge extractor and it would hold up just fine. Or we can cut squares of comb honey from this frame and sell it that way as well. So it's a pretty versatile frame. You can make comb honey or regular honey. Bees can put brood in this comb or do whatever bees do with their frames. We did some experimenting last summer with different types of foundation. We put some hives with foundationless frames and other hives with foundation, both wax and plastic foundation. And with similar conditions, the bees consistently drew out foundationless comb faster than they did on foundation. And it also is beneficial because it allows bees to build whatever cell size that they want to build. Bees like to have a certain percentage of their comb be large enough to hold drone bee eggs, and then some of it to hold worker eggs, and they do build some queen cups. So if we give them a foundationless frame, it lets the bees decide what they want to build where. Another advantage is that when bees build independently without us setting the parameter of the cell size through the foundation, they can build smaller cell size comb. And that can be beneficial. They're doing some research right now to see the benefits on that in controlling varroa mites.